Shalom. Before I start, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kudash. I'd like to say double honors to my teachers, the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well and teach well, the men that taught me this truth, and also Shalom, and our salutations to the brothers out there that are laboring in this work as well. So I'm the brother Shaquat from Great Millstone, Montreal, with another lesson. And this lesson that I'm going to be getting into today is going to be a brief lesson, basically just going into the glory of a woman, because man and woman, they each have their separate glories, and that's what makes them different or diverse, right? The same with us and the angels, man. There's a difference between the makeup and characteristics of a man and a woman and angels, man. But today, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, you see what he tries to do between the man and woman. He tries to erase that concept, man, and basically bundle them up together, man, and say there's no such thing as or he pushes equality, the idea of hierarchy, meaning one person being above another. Esau is trying to do away with that. He's trying to erase that, man. Trying to put everybody on the same level and pedestal, which that's not right, man. That's not the natural order of things. Because the Lord deals with people being above others. The Lord deals with people that are being at the bottom. The Lord is with that. And that's the natural order of things, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to get a quick example of that to back up my statement. This is, Slakia, bear with me. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7. And verse 6. All right, and this is dealing with the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's who makes up the nation of Israel today, and we know that that's the nation of Israel, or those are the people that make up the nation of Israel today, is because there's indicators that are left for us to filter out who those people will be, and when you read those indicators in Deuteronomy 28, it gives you descriptions of particular signs and things that would befall a particular people. And when you see those signs, like for example, the 68th verse, it speaks about slave ships, man. And no other nation has really, gone through slavery and have a yoke of iron put upon their neck, but the so-called blacks, man, the tribe of Judah. And that's how we do it, man. That's how you filter it out. You just have to make sense of the curses and pinpoint it to the right people, man. So yeah, the nation of Israel, they are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and this precept that I'm gonna bring out is gonna be pertaining to them. Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6, it says, "For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power." So the Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, are a holy people. And when you go into that word, a holy is separate. So they're separate or set apart people unto the Lord Yahweh, their power, their God. It says, "And the Lord thy power had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth," man. You see, so the Lord chose a particular nation of people to be above each and every other nation of people on the earth. So is this unfair? This doesn't sound like equality, So that concept or mindset the so-called white man is trying to push, that's rebellion. That's an act of rebellion against the Lord, man. You see? Because the Lord does deal with hierarchies and nations or people and things being above others. Okay, so I don't want to go too far off, but dealing with this lesson that I'm going into, man and woman, they each have their glories and, their benefits. You see? But a man is over the woman. They're not equal. All right? Matter of fact, and they each have their own glory. And what do I mean by glory? You see, so a glory would be basically symbolic to particular things that a man would be able to do. You see, for example, a man's glory is what? He's able to bear children, have seed. He's the head of the house, a leader, mentally tough, physically tough. Those things are under the banner of a man's glory. And then a woman's glory will be things like being able to bear seed and nourish a child, be a household, be a good, she can cook, she can clean, that's all a part of a woman's glory. But in today, 2024, they're going away from their glory. They're living in pleasure rather than living, boasting in their glory. And a part of their glory is what? Being able to bear children, man. And, that's the lesson that I'm centering this lesson around. Okay, so this is 1 Corinthians chapter 11. And I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Yahushua." It says, "Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you." It says, you see, and Paul, the apostle Paul, which before he was Paul, he was Saul, right? And he was persecuting the church of Yahushua, because he was a Pharisee, right? Like the scripture say, he was a Pharisee, and he was brought up by the laws, man. But then when the time was right, because Paul was that a chosen vessel of the Lord to bring in or to do the ministry of or to preach the gospel to the Gentiles, right? So when his name was changed to Paul, Yahushua dealt with him one-on-one, man. Yahushua showed him particular things and taught him particular things one-on-one. So Paul was a heavy spirit, man. Because this particular things that he says that scriptures speak about it mentions how some of Paul's writings are hard to be understood. But Paul was a man of the Lord, man, and certain things he says in his letters are approved, man, of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So this particular ordinances here, and a part of the ordinances we're going to read, right? It says it's particular ordinances that he delivered onto the church of Corinth to follow, and not only the church of Corinth, but also the church of Rome, Galatia, and the various other churches, man. You see? And some of the things might not have been law, it might not have been around the law, but you could tie them to the law, and they are the law, basically, right? So let's read verse 2 again. It says, "Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahushua is Yahweh." You see, so this is a part of the ordinances of the Most High, that there's an order, there's a natural order to things, man. You see, and we have the head of man is our Lord Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man. You see that? And the head of Yahushua is Yahweh. So that's the natural order of things, and each like man and woman, they each have their glory, man. Like how the glory of man, is the woman. Like for example, Yahushua's glory is the elect, man, and the elect's glory, so on and so forth, man. Like a man's glory will be the woman, and the woman's glory will be her hair, so things like that, man. You see? And Yahweh's glory is Yahushai. And everything, well, you know, but Yahweh delights in Yahushai. You know? Because Yahushai is that first spirit created. So technically you can say that, man. You know? But we know Yahweh's glory is it's everything, man. But Yahushai really, man. Because he's pleased in Yahushai. You know? Alright, so dealing with the man and woman, let's see. But yeah, we can read on. It says verse 4. Every man praying or prophesying having his head covered dishonoreth his head. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one as she shall be saved if she were shaven. For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High. But the woman is the glory of the man. You see, it says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord Yahweh. It says, for as the woman is of the man, so even so is the man also by the woman, but all things are of the Most High Yahweh. You see, so man and woman have their purpose, but there's even an order in that purpose. You see, but man and woman, they both need each other because they were made for each other. You know, the woman was really made for the man. You know, but it was made like that. They were made to be two, like the scriptures speak about the Lord's works being made in two. You know, a balance, right? You see, so the Lord created a balance in things, and that's even dealing with man and woman, man. You see, so a part of a woman's glory is her hair. You see, that's a part of her glory. But another part of her glory is also the fact that she would be able to have and bear children. You see, because that's her honor. And if a woman can't really bear and have children, that's actually a dishonor. You know, contrary to this society's mindset, man. Because what is this mindset pushing? That, you know, having children is a burden. A lot of these women's mindset is like that, man. Having children is a burden. You don't want to have children, you know, because they want to pursue their career instead, man. But that's not how it's supposed to be. You know, it's supposed to be their glory, and they're supposed to boast in that. The fact that the Lord is even able to open their womb or allow them to have children. You know, and that's why the scriptures pushes us to seek the old paths, man, because that's the right way. That's the good way. You know, that's the best way, actually. You see, because to have children is actually a glory, and I'm going to get a couple precepts to get into that. All right, so let's go from Isaiah 4 and verse 1. It says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. And that day is talking about Jacob's trouble, a time that's never been seen before, you know. And this time, a man of the Lord is going to be made precious. He's going to be the highest stock. Why? Because he's going to be stable in those troublous and tumultuous times, man. You know, and that's when women are going to seek refuge, because society and the cities are going to be brought low and collapse, man. You know, so the women are going to need refuge and comfort, when that can only be found in a man, but more specific, a man of the Lord, man. You know, and that's why a man of the Lord, depending on his situation at that time, you know, he might have a complete number of women, because that number 7 means complete. So, you know, it can vary from 1 to 7, from 7, you know, to whatever, man. You see, it says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And what does it mean to take away a reproach? What's the reproach, man? It's the fact that they're not able to bear children. So let's go from there to the book of Genesis, chapter 30. Matter of fact, look for a quick precept. Salakia, bear with me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, matter of fact, let me get another quick precept real quick. Yeah. Luke chapter 1 and verse. Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 23. And it came to pass that as soon as the days of his ministration were accomplished, he departed to his own ministration were accomplished. He departed to his own house. And after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived and hid herself 5 months, saying, thus had the Lord dealt with me in the days wherein he looked on me, to take away my reproach among men. So it was a reproach and a dishonor not to conceive and have seed. So Elizabeth, when she conceived and had a child, that reproach was taken away. So Isaiah 4:1, for that reproach to be taken away, you would have to bear children, have children. Okay. Genesis 30 and verse 1, it says, and when Rachel saw that she bare no children, and when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in the Most High stead, who had withheld from thee the fruit of the womb? So just showing you how, how desperate Rachel was to have children, because she was reproached, man. She was basically clowned, like, yo, this girl, what's wrong with her? She sinned, she's wicked, because the Lord is withholding her womb. That's what, that's what it would seem like, right? That's what it seems like, or that's what it is, right? There's something wrong with her. Something is wrong with a woman if she can't bear children or has no children. Because what's your purpose then? Right? It says, right, verse 3, and she said, behold, my maid Bilhah go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah her handmaid to wife, and Jacob went in unto her, and Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. Okay. Right, so let's go from there to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 1 and verse 2. And he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other was Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and sacrifice unto the Lord Yahweh of hosts in Shiloh. And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there. And when the time was when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but Yahweh has shut up her womb. Right? And her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord has shut up her womb, man. So it was a shame for your womb to be shut up. It was a shame. It is a shame. It says, and as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat, man. So Hannah was ashamed because she wasn't able to bear and glory in her glory, which is to have children, you know. Yeah, so that's pretty much the lesson. You know, Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to say call halal Yahweh ba'ashem Yahweh Shai ba'ashem Ruach. Once again, double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and until next time, shalom.